Okay, folks, welcome back. We are in California visiting Kim's dad for Christmas. And yeah, it's after Christmas, but we can only get everyone together just after Christmas. So that's the reason Christmas is still exploding. Now, today I'm making sweet balsamic rosemary onion jam. It can be used on meats like burgers if you want something a little bit sweet. It can be used on meatloaf, just about anything. First thing I'm going to do is chop up some onions. I need 2 pounds or about 6 cups of onions. So some people have a digital scale, some people have just a regular mechanical scale. In this case, we have a mechanical one. It's really cool. But what you want to do first is tare what you're going to measure the onions in. And this, I'll show you how. If you have a digital scale, it should just be a tare button on it. But if you have one like this, it'll be a little knob. I'll show you. So as you can see, it's off a little bit. I do have the pan here that I'm going to measure it in. And on this one, there's a knob. Hang on. There's a knob right under here. Twist this knob and it will adjust to re-zero or tare the scale. And that looks about right. Okay, I'm gonna do a rough dice, a large dice, or maybe even like slithers. You can do that. But pretty short. You want to be able to just kind of spoon it out and onto whatever you're eating. But first thing you do is sharpen your knife. I showed you once before how to take it down like that. One thing I started doing, if you think about it, you're not resharpening the knife, you're honing it. So as you use the knife, the blade starts to curl under that you can't see it. But so what I've started doing is go backwards. Pull the knife away instead of down. Instead of going like this, it's out. And about 15 times. And you do want to wipe it off. Okay. Now, onions really make you tear up. These are especially hot. One thing I've found is that if you run it under cold water, then it won't be as bad. I tested this on another recipe I did and barely got through 1 or 2 onions and had to chop, I don't know, 10, and made it easily through the other ones after running it under cold water. So in case you don't have a scale, measure about 6 cups. And of course after you chop it up. If you don't feel comfortable with that, I will tell you about how many onions to put in it. These are rather large onions, I'd say about the size of my fist. Okay, here's a little hack for you. Take a piece of cling wrap. Let me back up. I have my recipe here on a tablet. I don't want to get wet, sticky fingers all over it. So what you do is take a piece of plastic wrap, anything that'll cling to your tablet. Put it over it, stretch it nice and tight. And if you turn it on with the button on the side, make sure you cover that too, because if you access it with your fingerprint, it should still work through it. So then stretch it tight over the button. Now you can turn it on and use it just like a normal pad without getting the screen sticky. Okay, over here I've got my canner going. It is a pressure canner. I'm just going to use it as a water bath canner. And a stock pot. A nice big one. So, and a good one with a heavy bottom to it. So I've got this going. This will take a while to heat up. You can put hot water in it. It's not actually going into a product, so you can put hot water in it from the tap. If you need to add more, make sure you put it in a kettle and boil it. Hot tap water isn't hot enough, so if you have to add water to it, you want the water at least an inch above the jars. If you have to add water to it, it needs to be the same temperature. If you put hot water from the tap, it'll shatter the jar. Okay, you want about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I don't like to use extra virgin. I don't think it'll taste the same. I think it has a lower smoke point. So about 2 tablespoons. That looks about right. Especially coming from the guy who measures everything. Okay, heat up the olive oil, like medium heat. Okay, yeah, I don't recommend cooking in flannel unless you're cooking outside during a blizzard. So it calls for 10 to 12 cloves of garlic, sliced, not minced. So be careful when you're peeling them. A lot of people, me included, like to hit it under a knife to make the peels pop off. Feel free to do that, just be careful. You don't want to smash it because we're not mincing it, we're slicing it. So like I said before, to get the skin off, I like to hit it, lay a knife on it and hit it. I still do that, just a lot softer, because you don't want to actually smash it. So apparently Kim and her dad just got home. Because the dogs are going nuts. After you finish working with garlic, your hands are going to smell like it forever. The way to get rid of that smell is wash a stainless steel knife. Wash something stainless steel with your hands, and that will get rid of the smell. So Kim's home. Say hi.
Hi.
And here's Kim's dad. Say hi. I'll cut it out. I can't stop it because my hands are covered in garlic.
So you're actually using the fancy dancy.
Oh yeah, I love this.
Now we're gonna have to get one.
Yeah. Okay, so this calls for sliced garlic. You can use a mandolin. You can just try to use a knife. Or you can do like Kim said, and do like in Goodfellas. Use a razor blade, which I don't recommend. Okay, get the oil nice and hot, and then dump in your onions. And garlic.
Yeah, that's been thrown off a long time ago.
Now give it a quick stir and cover it for about 20 minutes. And check on it every once in a while. So stir this about every 5 minutes or so. And then start preparing everything else. One thing you need is brown sugar. Oh, this is softer than I thought. Okay, sometimes the brown sugar gets really hard. Not sometimes, all the time. One way to soften it is in the microwave. Cut it as small as you can, put it in a microwave safe bowl, cover it with a damp paper towel, and nuke it for like 10 seconds at a time. You don't want it to liquefy, you want it to just be able to pack into a measuring cup. So anytime you measure brown sugar, as you can see, there are a lot of empty spaces, so they want you to pack it down tight. And that way it'll be a consistent measurement every time. Okay, 2 sprigs of rosemary. Just rinse them off. Get a good fine chop on them. Now, to get this off of here, now I can explain it. Pull it backwards and it'll strip it right off. Till you get to the end, of course.
Armies of attorneys and claim adjusters at their disposal to help them change the narrative to confuse the innocent for them. That is why the foreign.
So as you can see, the onions are nice and soft. So now you want to add a half cup red wine. So 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Looks about right. Now it calls for a half cup of honey. I'm doing maple syrup, just to give it more flavor. Now the brown sugar is still clumped in there. Don't worry, as it heats up, it will liquefy. And if you don't have brown sugar, you can make it if you have molasses. Just white sugar and molasses. Might do a video on that, making brown sugar. So this actually calls for the fresh rosemary sprigs in a cheesecloth or something similar to be tossed in there and then taken back out. I don't agree. I want the actual rosemary in it. And that's why you go a little bit shy on the amount. Now cover it and heat it for about, it says 30 to 35 minutes. I'll come back and check on it every once in a while. So cook it for about 30 to 45 minutes, just until the onions caramelize and a lot of the liquid just evaporates off. You want it concentrated. Okay, this is reduced down to, well, it has reduced. The flavor has really strengthened on it. It's just about right. I'm going to turn it on, let it go while I'm tempering the jars. Jars are in here. It's not boiling. It's going to get just to boiling. I don't want them to cling together and break. And in just a minute, I'm going to pull them out and start filling them.
And now I can't see through you. No. Hey, be nice. Leader, be nice. You still crack me
Okay, I
up.
reduced this quite a bit. It'll really concentrate the flavor. But I don't think it's going to make the full 6 or 7 jars. Half pints. Now, in this water, you want to bring it to a boil. Do a couple good glugs of vinegar. Now, while that's coming to a boil, I'm going to move this over here and start filling jars. You want to fill them to a 1/4 inch headspace. Make sure you get all the bubbles out.
It's okay now. It's okay. I just girl. Hannah, you're good. No, come here. Come here. Come over here by me. Come over here by me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're gonna watch them do the dogs. I think I'm losing my mind. I can't remember what I'm needing to remember. Oh, come here, give me some love. Oh, this guy's going fishing. He's going fishing for some dinner.
All right, this is really dry, a lot drier than I was planning. That's okay, I think it'll be okay. Get all the bubbles out, just push this down in, your degasser down in. Oh, about 3 or 4 times. And a 1/4 inch headspace, we need more in all of them. So 3 jars, not 6. Guess I really cooked it down. So a little bit of vinegar on a paper towel. Some people use just a regular towel, dry dish towel. Some people just use water to clean the rim. This doesn't have any oil in it, so I'm not too worried. Now the USDA says that you shouldn't reuse lids. I like to reuse them twice. So this is the last use on both of these. So on pressure canning, you just want it fingertip tight. On these, a little bit tighter. And don't crank down on them, but you want them tighter. Warm. That has cooled down. This one has not. Go. Okay. There should be something in the bottom, like a canning plate. Something to hold the jars off the bottom, otherwise they'll crack. And you do have to be careful. Since I'm only using 3 jars, I want to make sure that the water doesn't bubble up and push the plate up. So now bring it to a boil. Let it boil for 10 minutes. Now anything 10 minutes and below, the jars have to be sterilized. Anything 10 minutes or longer, they don't. Now if you're at a higher elevation right here, I think we're at 5,000 feet, add 1 extra minute for every 1,000 feet above 5,000, or no, above 1,000. So in this case, leave it on for 15 minutes after it starts boiling. Jars were in, lids were on, everything was perfect. Then I realized I didn't put in pectin. So, pulling it back out, at this point add the pectin, add pepper if you think it needs it. I don't think this needs it. I just let Kim try it and she almost peed her pants with excitement. So it calls for a full packet of pectin. I reduced it down enough to where it's only filling 3 jars. So I'm only putting a half a packet of pectin in it. So I need to heat it up. Get back going. Now we're going to bring it to a boil and then set the timer for 15 minutes. It should be 10 minutes plus 1 minute per 1,000 feet above 1,000 feet. So we're at 5,000 feet, so I'm adding 5 minutes. So we're processing it for 15 minutes. Anything under 10 minutes, the jars and lids and everything have to be sterilized. 15-minute timer just went off. You don't check them, you don't do anything, just pull them out. Leave the water on them. Now, only 3 jars in there. That tray started, the bubbles, when it started boiling, started pushing up that tray. And the jars started moving around. So I had to put 3 more pint jars in there just to weight that down. And that's it. Leave this for at least 12 to 24 hours. You'll hear them pop. Don't touch them. Don't push the button down. Just leave them alone and they will pop. So that is onion jam in a nutshell. Alright folks, good morning. We are on the road heading home. Just passed through Mojave. Started out this morning with snow, a couple inches of snow. Really heavy wet snow. And snow cleared by the time we got off the mountain, but now we've got rain for probably through Barstow, which we are, I don't know, about an hour from Barstow, maybe a little bit longer. So, trying to hold out on getting gas until we hit Arizona, exit 9, so I think we're going to make it. Anyway, I'll give you an update as we go. Okay, Barstow, it just cleared up. You should see behind us if you can. I don't know. Anyway, just drove out of the rain and on I-40 for, I don't know, 10 miles so far. So, yeah, a couple hundred miles, like 150 miles until we stop for gas.
Coming up on State Line. This is Kim checking in because David is driving, Freddie's in his home, and I have the phone. So this is the Colorado River that divides California and Arizona. This river water is sent by canals to Bakersfield, which is the bread and vegetable basket of the western United States. And look, there's the Arizona sign. Yay! Alright, we'll check in a bit.
So what did
We are in Flagstaff, or we're driving through Flagstaff, and I just wanted to show you the mountain. That is beautiful. It's about 59 degrees here, sunny, beautiful day.
It's actually 48 degrees.
Oh, sorry. It was 59 degrees at Ash Fork. It's 48 degrees now. Say hi, David.
Hi.
Exiting the freeway, 8:15 at night. 12 and a half hours on the road.
So that's it. Already in my pajamas, ready to go to bed. We're tired, car's unloaded, going to bed. Till next time, be safe and put a lid on it.